Are virtual events here to stay? I'm Shiley Hakimian from yoursocialmediasherpa.com, where I help businesses get clarity and accountability doing their own marketing to stay top of mind with the people that matter most for their business. But I also am your right-hand girl when it comes, or actually right-hand woman, let's go with that, when it comes to making your online events extra seamless and comfortable and engaging and wonderful for your people. I've done this for nonprofits and organizations and all sorts of different groups, VC firms and beyond, consulting groups, so many different groups. Anyway, and I've seen a few things, and there's some things I really appreciate about it. And I hear people say, are online events going to stay? Are they going to be a thing forever? Is this, or is this something that's going to go away as COVID hopefully goes away? So I've come up with a list of reasons why I'm like, they're going to be here, and stories to tell you on why I think that's going to happen. The simplest thing that I love about virtual events that comes from my story of how I even started my business is that for me, as a nerdy kid who didn't always have a lot of friends, the way that I found connection in the world wasn't the people at my school, wasn't my neighborhood, it was people around the country. I found the people that I grew closest to on a little platform you may remember called MySpace. Preceded Facebook. It is a super cool place. And I found people who loved the same weird passions as I did, which was reality competition shows, for example, Big Brother and Survivor. And I remember, how rare it was for me to meet someone in person who had the same interests as me. The only people that I had were like my guidance counselor. And eventually when I got to college, my first best friend from college, she also watched and it bonded us immediately. But other than that, all of these people lived somewhere else. What I love about virtual events, and what I've seen this with my clients especially, is that they have communities that are not central to one location, that it's going to be impossible for people to get out there. If there's an industry and you're like, that's 20 people that are super in the industry, yeah, maybe it helps to get together. But when you have like one of my clients who's got like 200 consultants all over the world, the odds of them actually booking a flight, taking a week off, and going and showing up in person is going to be really, really tricky. And some could maybe do it, but for us to be able to have one of our clients in Germany interacting with one of our clients in Canada in a virtual space is absolutely remarkable. And just like me as that kid who didn't have access to the cool people that I wanted to hang out with locally, like, this is what virtual events can do. It helps bring people together all over the place. People who couldn't go to those conferences, maybe because they have kids, maybe they have disabilities, maybe they can't afford to go to a conference. I know I love conferences, but they're not cheap. It takes a lot of investment in scheduling time away to get into one of these things. And I think that lower barrier to entry is going to be so remarkable, especially for groups that aren't locally based. So that is one of the reasons I think it has to absolutely stay, because there are communities that need to be connected to each other. And in person is just not the most practical. People never considered this as the easiest next option. The next one I'm going to say is comfort, right? You don't know, but there might be a blanket on top of my lap right now that makes me feel extra cozy, right? I get to be at home. I get to eat all my snacks. I get to do what I want. I love that. And if I need to, I can just hide my camera because maybe I just don't look extra fabulous that day. Super real story, right? If I go to an event, I have to be on, I have to be present, and probably a little bit more extroverted if I'm being honest, which conveniently I am, but not everyone is, right? It gives us the option to really trust our own gut and be comfortable, right? The other really cool part, and this is me, like I'm a connector. I love meeting people. Again, a little bit extroverted. One of the things I also really love is that as I'm at an online event, I can actually look up somebody and figure out who the heck they are. Who are our mutual connections? Where do they work? What are they really good at? Do I want to work with them? Whatever it is. And this is what I tell my clients. I teach LinkedIn. I'm like, your LinkedIn profile, they're going to look at it. It's your billboard for your life. They're going to look to see who you are. And I can do that very, very easily, maybe a little sneakishly when I'm at a networking event. So I will go in and I'll dive and I'll go find all the little nitty gritties about them. But it also makes our conversation more interesting, because even on a call the other day, I found out that there was 5 very cool mutual friends between me and a prospect. And it makes, our connection so much deeper because that accesses my fingertips right there while I'm on the call. So that's another good one. So I don't know, I mentioned this earlier, but parents getting a babysitter, to go to an event, totally a lot of effort. So it gives you a lot of options. I'll end it on this story too. One of my clients is an international organization that's bridging people in various kind of dispersed countries around the world. And the fact that we could have ambassadors from one country and ambassadors from another on the exact same call talking to US politicians while the staff lives somewhere completely different is super duper cool. that isn't an event that you would have people fly just for that 1 hour conversation, but virtually you can do one every few weeks and really bring your people together. So to have been a part of the back end of producing the back end and the technology of those events was super cool, and let me feel like, I was in front of some really cool people. Actually, I'll even give you another example. Like I heard there was a TikTok briefing from from President Biden's team to TikTokers. And I'm like, if they had to fly all those people to DC, it would have been a huge commitment, a lot of work, a lot of schedule, but people could just show up for an hour and do something they could have never accessed like 50 years ago. So online events are here to stay because they bring us to the people that we probably don't interact with next door to us. They bring us to the people who are most like us anywhere in the world, and they bring us together in ways that we could have never imagined. So hope to see you at our next online event, and I'll be pushing those keyboards, making sure you have a fabulous experience. See you on the interwebs. This has been Shiley with your social media Sherpa. Woo!